Okay, so I was not planning on filming today, but this one just fell into my lap. Before I begin, this video is not sponsored in any way by Five Below. I was just really impressed by what I found and thought it would be a good opportunity to show off what I got. Are you saying hi? So while I was out running errands today, I realized that I needed a few more items for upcoming photo shoots for Valentine's Day. And I was hoping to find something cute, shiny, and very aesthetic for these photo shoots. Sadly, I couldn't find any Valentine's Day stuff that I liked. But in the process of searching, I happened to pass by a Five Below, and I decided to stop in because they're always changing up their stuff, and it's really affordable and fun. Well, as soon as I got in there, I was met with a whole bunch of art supplies right off the bat. So let's see what I got. Okay, so the first thing that I got was this cute little disco ball. And I'm very excited about this. I actually have a disco themed photo shoot set up in my upstairs right now. And I always need more disco balls. Look how cute it is. This one, I still have the tag on it, was $5 and it's a 6-inch diameter. Absolutely perfect, super affordable. The spacing is a little rough on it. Like, you know, as you can see, it's not perfectly seamed together, but hey, for $5, I'm not gonna complain about it. So I also found some really awesome planters there, and they had a variety of, I think, 4 planters, and I bought 2 because they're super cute and they're absolutely hilarious. So these were $4 each. So this one says, "I wet my plants," which is just so funny. And then this one says, "I'm rooting for you," which I just finished America's Next Top Model. And it really reminds me of that one scene, and it's so cringy. You guys know what I'm talking about. But let's get into the art supplies. So the very first thing that I found there was a 2-pack of Calligraphy fountain pens for $3.25. And these do come with refills. And they're just so cute. Like, one is yellow and pink and the other is blue and green. Like, how freaking cute is that? I really can't wait to be able to play with those. And I really doubt that they're waterproof ink, but I'm gonna test it out and find out. So one of the next items that I found were 2 different sizes of watercolor sketch pads. So this is the one that I got. The other one was, I think, 9x12, but this one I felt would be a different size than what I have on hand currently, and it would be great for sketches. So then I found the actual art section, and I was blown away with the amount of stuff that they had there. And it was all really affordable. I had seen other supplies prior, but like, this was the first time seeing this next item. So every artist really does need a drawing board. And this one, it's a smaller size than what I have currently for my other drawing boards, but I actually was looking for drawing boards because I'm really hoping to do some oil paintings, more al prima style, so like more in one sitting. And I was hoping to do that on canvas pads, which brings us to our next item. So I found canvas pads there for $4.25. Now, I actually had just ordered off of Amazon a pack of canvas pads, but I couldn't pass this up because, like, I can never have too many art supplies, as much as my husband would disagree with that. So the other item that I found, let me grab the box here because I'm using it currently because it is so cute. Maybe you can see hearts in my eyes. Because it's a heart-shaped ring light. This was $10, so this was on the higher end of things, but I haven't seen ring lights this affordable, like, ever. Like, you can find normal ones, but like heart-shaped ones? I needed it. So now my favorite part, let's test these things out. I'm really excited about the watercolor pad especially because it really does feel like decent quality watercolor paper. And I will also do a quick little test tomorrow of the canvas pad because I would like to gesso it. And I always recommend doing that, especially with cheaper canvases, just because the gesso on it currently is not the greatest. I'll get more into that in a little bit here though. But let's go check out some art. At Five Below, we ended up spending about $45 overall, and about $15.75 was on art supplies. For the amount of stuff that I got, that's really amazing. So for anybody who isn't familiar with it, what is Five Below? Well, according to Google, Five Below is a leading high-growth value retailer offering trend-right, high-quality products loved by tweens, teens, and beyond. AKA me, a 32-year-old adult. Oh, hey, this is the first time that I haven't painted for my own photograph in a vlog. I got this reference image from Unsplash, which is a great free source site for images. I'll link it below for anybody interested in checking it out. Okay, so for testing out the watercolor paper, I'm using my Sakura Koi Watercolors Pocket Field Sketchbox. I'm kind of wishing that I had expanded my palette options and went with some of my other watercolors to get some of those bright neons that the background image does have. But this is what I grabbed and what I opted to use. This watercolor set was given to me around Christmas, but the set can be found for around $15 and comes with a brush pen or water brush pen in it. The calligraphy pens that I picked up, on the other hand, I'm still on the fence about. I used them once the paint was dry and added detail lines in, and both nibs were just a bit bigger than what I prefer. Usually with calligraphy pens, you get a variety of line width from thick to thin. Both these pens just offered one width that was about the same, even though there were different nib types. The plastic on them does feel very light and cheap. The ink cartridges almost didn't want to snap into the pens, and I had to ask for my husband to help me with getting them to work. I did add water to the hair within the image after laying down the calligraphy pens, and the ink was definitely dry. Once I added the water to it, though, it did bleed, so the ink is very much not waterproof. With the canvas sheets, I did opt to tear it out of the pad and tape it to the drawing board prior to adding a layer of gesso. I picked up the gesso from Joann Fabrics, and it was about $12.99 prior to the coupons dropping the total to $7.03. The drawing board is pretty standard masonite with a handle. This is a great size for what I'm using it for, and I'm super happy with it. For my oil painting, I did about a 2-hour sitting, and this canvas worked wonderfully. I am so happy with it. It's a win in my book. I'm planning on going back into the painting a little bit once it dries more, which is why there's no tape peel. Sorry. So let's talk about cheap art supplies for a bit. Everyone is at a different level of their art career, and some people just do it as a hobby, and that's totally okay. Everyone's budget is also different, and again, that's totally okay. Because of this, you are going to find a varying level of art supplies. Whatever level of art supplies you use does not define you as an artist. You probably know famous painters like Jackson Pollock or Pablo Picasso, but did you know that they often painted with house paints? Mixed paints can be found at hardware stores for super cheap, and I've used them in a number of my works before. Mostly for paintings on stage sets, for theater performances, or murals, but you can also use them on canvases. I've found myself on a budget plenty of times in my life, and I'm so glad to see less expensive alternatives becoming more readily available. This especially caters to emerging artists and anyone who is in a tighter budget. Stores like Five Below or dollar stores have really been amplifying their art selections, and it's been awesome to see. The things that I would recommend. I have found super cute sketchbooks for as little as $5. They don't usually have the best paper, but they're really awesome for studies and planning out ideas. I use them a lot for poses planning for photo shoots so that models can have a clear vision of poses that I like and what could work for them. This also lends to figure studies for anatomy. Now, the downfall is that using things like markers is going to absolutely bleed through the paper and chew up the nibs. Their paper also tends to be a bit more acidic, which means that it'll often yellow and become brittle if left in direct sunlight or over time. Canvases. I've been seeing more and more canvases become available for cheaper. Now, the material that's used is usually a lot thinner than the high quality canvases, so be careful when storing them so you don't get punctures or form dents. You also should invest in some gesso to apply, since what comes with it is usually super watered down, so it will absorb a lot more of your paints if you don't add a layer of gesso. You can get some from any art store, like I've mentioned already in this video. I already have brushes on hand to use. For these, I usually go to the hardware store and get something that's affordable, but isn't going to shed bristles when I apply it when using the gesso. Markers. So I had the unfortunate experience one day of running over a nail while at Target, and it absolutely caused me to have a flat. My husband was able to put just enough air in the tires to get them to the shop and get it repaired. And while we were waiting, I went to, you guessed it, a Five Below. I found a pack of alcohol markers there for $4 for 18 markers. These have such a good vibrancy and flow to them and feature a chisel nib on one side and a round nib for details on the other. Now, I would not recommend these for things like commissions, since they likely do not have the same light fastness as higher quality markers. This means that they're likely going to fade a lot more quickly. If you are doing this for a commission and someone is hanging the final piece on their walls at home, this could cause issues since they are wanting to cherish it. I hope you found this video helpful and that you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Do you have an inexpensive art supply that you'd like me to try out and talk about? Leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching.